Hi guys, Kirk and Jay here with Kirk, Giordano Plastering. Today, I want to show you how to use a float and why, what to do with it and what not to do. And you might say, hey, I've already watched a video where you showed how to use a float. I'm going to show you what not to do with a float. I'm going to show you what a float is for on this particular one. When on holiday, I come back, all my floats are beat up. What does beat up mean for a float? Okay, first of all, this is a hard rubber float. It's rubber and it's hard. I mean, hard rubber float. This is a cork float. This is useless. I never cared for them. A cork float works like a hard rubber float, but I prefer the hard rubber floats. This particular one here, somebody pulled it up like this. That's a cardinal sin in the plastering industry because why? It opens up. The glues they use for these, they're not all that great. So what happens, say, when you go up? So I catch my guys, well, some of the guys do this often, and they'll do this. Now, notice this is still soft. If you do it while it's soft, it's not so bad because you're not going to beat it up that much. But if you do this when it turns kind of white, grayish white, that means it's real hard. And so you get a corner like this, and I'll do it sometimes myself with one of these guys right here because it's soft. You can do that. But what happens, you see that? You can make a corner. But what happens if this turns white or hard, lightens up? This is what happens. Now this float it's garbage because you see all the stucco went under here and it hardened, so now it comes down, it points this way like a banana. And like a banana, it goes like this. So this float is useless. Let's see how many other floats I got so I can say are useless because of folks using them the wrong way. This one is pretty beat up too. The ends are too wiggly. You got a wiggly end like that, garbage. So those three right there going in the garbage. This one here, they pulled up one corner. Again, the only time I'll go sideways with these, if I'm doing a gable and I'm throwing stucco into the gable, I'll take it and go sideways while it's wet. While it's curing like this, what I'll do is, this is the right way to use it, guys. You put it on, and you just go with the wall. Say like, for example, here. Now, if you go like this, you take that sideways. That's the wrong way to do it. I'm going to take a beat up trowel that I'm discarding anyway and go right over here. I see guys do this. You can do this with a trowel, guys, not with a float. If you do it with a float, you'll jack it up. So this one's going in the garbage anyway. So here's how you use a float. You leave it flat, and this way you don't expose the metal here. It's cheap metal, obviously, and it's glued down. What do you expect for $4 or $5? Anyhow, what you're doing now is if you want a straighter corner, rather than pull it up like this and jack it up, go here. Go straight up, eyeball it, and then come straight up here. Do it a couple times if you don't get it right the first time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just floating this. And what is floating really supposed to do? Floating opens the stucco. What does opening the stucco mean? Good question, guys. That means you hit a wire too, you'll jack up a float. See those two marks? That's a wire sticking out. Okay. When you float a wall, you not only open it means it allows it to breathe, but you compress it. And that's all I want to do, guys. I just want to compress this and allow it to breathe. So, like say if I get a trowel will seal it because I don't have a trowel with me, but a trowel will seal this. It'll look real slippery and shiny. Now the wall can't breathe, and if I allowed that to set, it will hairline crack. Will it still hairline crack with this float? Sure. If a house is going to move or lift with, say, 15 days of rain, no amount of stucco is going to stop that from happening, not on a 100-ton house. So that's the first thing you do, and that's what a float is really for, guys. It is not for, say, fix this little corner while I'm here. It is not for pulling upward and separating the float from its base. Now, of course, just to show you something, you'll say, man, that doesn't match. The point of this wasn't to match the wall. The point of it was to show you what a float is for. You match the wall with a different tool. This is a green sponge float. Green sponge float will bring the aggregate out. Aggregate, sand, fancy word for sand, aggregate. Concrete, it's rocks. Stucco, it's sand. You clean this out, get the aggregate out that lodges between there, and now you're going up, guys. You're pulling it up to match the finish here. It's bringing the sand out, or the aggregate. Anyway, it's nothing to it, guys. It does like anything else, plumbing, electricity, carpentry. It all takes practice. And fortunately, we have a lot of practice. What we do is pull it out, boom, we got paper here. See, pull a piece of paper and done. We're done with it, with the cleanup. But for the sake of showing you guys, I'll pull that out. One last thing before I end this video is I'm gonna make it real pretty, because there's always somebody who's gonna look at it and say, hey dude, when you left on video, it wasn't perfect. Well, the video was to just prove a point with the tools. Now I make it pretty. Make it real pretty, make it perfect to match this. What I'm doing is I'm using extra water. I'm allowing the extra water to drip down and correct it. Correct the finish. And that right there I'm gonna come back to. But the idea is you bring out the sand and you match it. You match this right here. That's how it's done. As far as these floats, guys, you gotta know how to use them if you want them to last. Me, yeah, I buy them by the 50 at a time, but still, gotta know what tools you're using and how to use them. Anyway, my name is Kirk, Jason on the camera. We thank you folks for watching, and as usual, see you guys on the next one. Once again, folks, we thank you for watching, and I really enjoy all your comments.
If you guys like this video, please click the like button down below, and also if you enjoy what we do, subscribe to our channel so we can keep making these videos for you.
My name is Kirk.
And Jay.
We thank you for watching, and from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one.